There's NFTs in them there cryptocurrency mines. That's where we're headed. The future, 2049. Neo California in space. But really, it is the kind of same kind of attitude where people are rushing for like easy money because, well, the difference is we made the goal. So it's, automatically an artificial scarcity. That's the real problem. Although that's always the case with money as it turns to trade, but whatever. I can't even begin to give a conversation on that too. Or to me. Oh, the slaves. Okay. See, the ICF? Oh, okay. The Infernal Colonial Forces. The ICF. Okay, I got you now. I now know what the letters mean. Thank you for writing that clearly on the wall for me, when I should have noticed perhaps at stage 1. But, noticing now is good. Oh, have you noticed these guys, by the way? It's one of the sprite replacements. The Pinky is now a, whatever the fuck that mechanical monstrosity is. I think somewhere it does tell you what the names of these things are. I have given up. Even the wiki recognizes what they are, so unless they actually change their behavior, which they don't, there's even shadow versions, they're still the Pinkies. They act exactly the same. They just look different, and they sound different, but that's it. Nothing better than a palette swap. I've just accepted it. It would be better if all the sprites had changed, though, instead of just half of them. Like how these imps are not quite imps. Oh well, they says. Oh yeah, and the trident they're holding... Yeah, that's the other thing. There's some other sprite changes you might not care for, but they're there. Oh man. Remember that one time at Perdition's Gate where it was just dark as shit in this black background? Yeah, it's not as stupid as that, but still. It's kind of annoying. Flashing lights. Actually, the whole time I'm playing this mod, I have not run into that visor that turns the lights on. Like everywhere. Like the UV laser glasses goggles thing. Didn't run into that. I feel like that's sorely lacking, especially if you're gonna fuck with the lights and make it super dark. Like, original Doom and Doom 2 was smart enough about that to be like, yeah, this is a dark place, bring the power up so you can see. And that was fair. But if you're doing that and you don't give me the power up, why are you doing this shit to me? At least in like Heretic, it gave you the option of when to use it, as opposed to just activating immediately, so you knew when a good time was, or decide when you want to see. Your eyeballs decide what you're going to see today. Today you're blind. Today you're astigmatism. I don't care what you are, but you have eyes, and the eyes have hills. Hills directly in your eyes. The topography of the eyeballs, the oculus rifts in your skull. Give you the book that your face can read about as we zoom your data into your face. Where's this conversation going? Oh boy, social media. Oh, let me tell you about the social media. I don't know right now. All I know is socializing doesn't really need a company behind it. That is the trick. I think the trick is we confused what socializing is with what running a website is. So, I mean, we can all move, like yesterday. The trouble is, you have to meet someone on something someone's already been to, so it's like, yeah, no. Although if you think about it, social media, the way it's centralized, it's kind of like how a city works. Centralized with a lot of people in it that may not always want to be there because it can be corrupt. Think about that. Think about what the internet city means to you as you pass by these little towns that still look like the 90s blockbuster videos. Just black screen with random text on it and a guest book and a web ring. Email this to the administrator at this web zone. Go to my BBS. Check my fax number. Use a pager. The pager was a pointless go between the phone and the cell phone. That was just for someone who wasn't willing to wait for technology when it was right around the corner. I feel the same way applies to what we're doing with algorithms. Oh, I have much to say about that. AI algorithms and whatnot. I think I mentioned earlier that or something like that, where it's like they're used in hiring practices, which may explain my lack of employment right now. Like, I didn't think to, like, I figured I was being rejected. I didn't think to look inside their black box of how they're doing it, which I guess is on me. I should be smarter than that, but also it's just like, if they're doing that, why would I ever want to talk to them? But I guess the onus is on me to convince people otherwise, but it might be too late. I'm already committed. I'm already career married to YouTube, practically. It's too late. It's too late for me! Maybe I'd rather do what I love. You ever think of that? Huh? You know, I used to get mad about not really having a life or just having a career, but now it's just like, wait. I knew what I was doing the whole time! That's the thing about video games. You can practice them without needing a crash course that you pay thousands of dollars to enter when you don't have the money to do such things. You just need the entry of admission, which is, for the average game, $60 or less. Usually less. You don't have time to keep paying with the AAA to keep up with the Joneses unless it's really good. What is the next good AAA game? I don't know, but it's not Doom mobile game, I can tell you that. Why they did that, I don't know. Bethesda just wants easy cash / ZeniMax. It's weird how they call that ZeniMax, where it's just like, that's like Facebook being like, nah, we are a Meta, that's not us. That's, you know what Meta and Facebook and Alphabet reminds me of? It reminds me of Mega Man 6's plot, where it's just like, no, it wasn't me, Dr. Wily, it was my employer, Mr. X, when they're the same fucking guy. It's like, oh no, push the responsibility onto this other persona I made for myself. Totally not me. Never was. It was the other me, which was instead me. Jeez. I can't believe no one's made that connection yet. Which is why I had to make it for you. That's something this mod does a lot. It actually is pretty generous with actually, like, I feel like every 3 out of 4 levels in this mod, it will give you a computer map. Now, the first few levels didn't actually need that, but, you know, it's great for secret hunting. I think there's a couple levels where it's almost necessary to have one, because there's a hidden door you need to actually open. And that's a good use of the power-up, is to be like, yeah, I don't know where to go. Check map I gave you, instead of it just being, like, optional. Make it a required part of exploring the map, to actually read the map. So if you get upset about me reading the map, just know it's always been part of the game, baby. In fact, it was an improvement for Wolfenstein 3D for that exact reason. So I wouldn't have to do stuff like that. I'm still mad that I can't play Spear Destiny properly. Because I tried doing this thing where you build it from, like, Borderlands C++ and just change the variable that to fix it, but I don't know how to build in a much older rendition of a code base for the life of me. And I tried. I tried to do it within DOSBox. This is probably not the best idea. But also, I decided, okay, I will just let up and do a source port. But guess what? The source port, EC Wolf, doesn't actually do Spear Destiny the way I thought it would. Because it glitches at the ending screen. Which is dumb as shit. I haven't figured out why. I hadn't bothered to bring it up. I just decided, you know, maybe when they update within the next 10 years, it'll be fixed. It taken so long working on the Blake Stone source port that someone did it first. And by the way, that source port's not perfect either. Not in a way that makes it playable. God damn, I was really looking forward to doing Blake Stone for you guys, but that's just not in the cards for me yet. That shit's hard in the wrong ways. Stuff like Plutonia, that'll be hard in the right ways. Because I can at least still fucking play it. I think you've seen the trustees and robot guards fall before your wrath. The others in this compound are ready to revolt. Next step, nuclear processing. Oh yeah, the trustees it's talking about is basically humans that betrayed other humans. That get a free job working for the demons, essentially, by being an asshole to other people. That's not to say that they're being treated well. No, just better than everyone else is a slave. So there's kind of a bit of a character development in the opposite direction for some of these so-called slaves. They're just like, fine, I'll just rule over other slaves. Blah, blah, blah.